From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, bop.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, sitting relaxing here, bringing you once again another Sunday swim. So everything is doing fine. I just like to take this time to give you guys a little update. I'm sitting here with the 125 gallon in what I know on Sunday morning as coffee time. I'm running the blue lights according to the timer. It is in daybreak mode, so it's about 10 o'clock. The lights start ramping up at around 9:30 and gradually increase over the few half-hour integrals. And this is in daybreak mode, so the fish are getting excited because they see me fiddling around. They figures breakfast time is going to kick in soon. Right above this mag viewer is an automatic feeder which automatically drops them food at about 3 times a day. I just added that about 3 months ago so that I can be a little consistent with the feeding, and they seem to like it. So basically everybody's doing good. I have some ups and downs with the tank, as we always do, and I'll discuss that with you today. So the first thing that you'll notice is the flow on one side of the tank is really stagnant. Usually it alternates, but I had some issues regarding one of my WP-40 pumps. As you can see in the corner, it is not running. I've had that one for about 2.5 or maybe 3 years, so I've been really neglecting the tank. So there's no surprise that the pump kind of conked out on me. I wasn't doing the cleaning of the impellers. It's getting coralline algae and things that happen when you neglect the tank. On the bright side, though, for those who watch my videos, you'll see that I had one of these whisker corals, or what we've decided is a Duncan. I wasn't really familiar. I got it from a Petco, and I had it in a frag tank. I had 2 of them in a frag tank. I had it quarantined for a while, dipped and everything, so I finally added it to the main tank, and it's doing really good. My soft corals and leathers are very aggressive, so it took me a few tries to find where this coral is happy. And since this is south of my working WP-40, it is really happy. So as I mentioned, I'm running on 1 WP-40 and the return from my sump, and this pump really kicks out, so it is actually more than enough to throw water across this 6-foot tank. And you really can't tell it there because it's really stable, but if you look above it, oh, it's blowing. And I have it on medium flow right now. One of the things I noticed with this pump is that pulsing mode tends to kill the impellers, and I think that's what happened with this one. This one I had running on pulsing mode, and the other one I had on a steady flow, and as you can see, this one's not running because there's my old nemesis, Mr. Aiptasia. Yes, I have Aiptasia in the tank. What are you going to do? I kill it as it comes, and I actually just soaked this pump last week and cleaned the coralline. As you can see, it is already coralline riddled. So if you don't learn anything from me, people, clean your pumps. I moved the return line from my return pump, so I am getting a little flow from here, but that is actually a very old mag pump, which I probably have to change. And let's get to the main issue here. A lot of people have asked me for the settings of my lights. I run the DSuny LEDs. I have 3 banks of DSunys, which means I have 3 units. And a lot of questions come to me as to what are your settings, what do you have it run on? And I'm just going to start by saying everybody's tank is different depending on the number of pieces of rock, how deep your tank is, how long your tank is. You can't really take one person's settings and apply it to your tank. But for sake of argument, I will give you a brief run through as to the settings on this one. The lights are set up by 4 channels. There are 4 channels. You can have infinite settings. So when people ask me what are your settings, the settings are infinite. You can set it in increments of 1%. and you'll see that I have like channel 1, for instance, maxes out at 70%. And the difference with LEDs, these fixtures and like ecotechs and AIs ramp up and down, which means by the time of day it will increase the percentage and lower the percentage. As you can see here, it runs the peak 95% for that channel and goes down over the course of time, as you can see in the first port, the time. This particular channel maxes out at 80%, so this is way different than basic lights that you just plug in with timers, because they just cut on and they have a maximum setting and that's it. These lights adjust by channel in increments set as you see here to control exactly how much light it is. So you know, that is how my lights are set, and then I have it dim down at the end of the day, which simulate moonlight. Now these lights do have a moonlight setting. I don't use it because I just thought it got really confusing and the moonlights tended to stay on all day. I just have it set so that at the end of the day it goes into a dimming mode. Now I advise you just use the preset modes. If you're buying these lights for the first time and you don't want to get into programming, just use the preset modes. You have 4 seasons, you have a slow acclimation. I recommend slow acclimation when you first add them, and it'll give you the full spectrum of the lights and you can learn as you go. But why make your life complicated? So just use the presets until you get used to it and your life will be much easier. Take my word for it. So right now in the morning mode it's 10:57, which I'm happy because they automatically adjusted for daylight savings time. I didn't even realize that. Whereas some of the stuff in my house, like my Apex, didn't adjust for daylight savings time, and I didn't even notice it until making this video. Spring forward, fall back. So I'll do that after I make this video. I will adjust the time in the Apex. But it's a good note for everybody who has controllers. Make sure that your time on your lights and your time on the controllers match. So other than that, that's the tank. Everything is doing good. I want to thank you guys for watching. And until next time, tank on. Thank you for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. This is D signing out. See ya.